What's up, guys? Black Rose Duelist here, and today I'm not feeling so well. I didn't go to school because I have pretty bad sickness right now. But I've been at home testing this new Amorphage deck, and it's a pretty good deck. I made more of an anti-meta counter trap build because the deck's all about making it so your opponent can't special summon monsters from extra decks, or they can't special summon at all, or really they can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's kind of the premise of this deck. But there's only 3 monsters and 1 spell, so it was pretty hard making this deck, so please take it with a grain of salt. There's lots of different ways I guess you could build this deck. At first I made it with a Performapal pendulum engine with, here, let me show you. I threw in some monkey boards, some lizard draws, some skull bat, crow bat, whatever's, some pendulum lizards, and the Gee turtle. Here, let me get to it. Gee turtle. So the reason why I did this is because you can make it so you can pendulum summon your Irritum very easily. So I guess if you're more leaning towards going into the spam pendulum, play the Performapals. But if you're more into the anti-meta defensive build, this is definitely the build for you, and that's what I went for. Both of them worked out pretty well, but I enjoy this one a bit more, especially in the meta we're in right now. So, to start off, we have 3 Amorphage Irritum, 3 Amorphage, I think that's how I say it, Amorphage Olga, and 3 Amorphage, Amorphage Cavum. So, basically, when they're supposed to summon, your opponent can't supposed to summon monsters from their extra deck. When you're in your pendulum zone, during your standby phases, you have to tribute a monster or destroy the card. But the continuous spell, when a monster in your field is tributed or destroyed by a card effect or by battle, you can search for another Amorphage. So this is kind of a way to fill up your extra deck, but also search a lot too. 1 Thunder King, very good against the whole Performage deck, because they can't search their pendulums, they can't search with the Juggler. Secondly, 2 Doomstar, this is very good against other pendulum decks, but you can also use that yourself. Once a turn during either player's turn, actually no, it's not during either player's turn. Once a turn during either player's pendulum zone, you can discard 1 card, destroy that card, and if you do, draw 1 card. So, you're not really losing anything, you're just destroying a pendulum zone, but you're also drawing a card by discarding a card. So say you have a dead Thunder King in your hand, you send the Thunder King, destroy their Magispector, Bambuku Raccoon, then you draw a card. So basically you're just destroying their pendulum skill and also drawing a card. 3 Aerodine, this is the way you search for your counter traps, but also make it so you can use your counter traps without having to pay anything. It's also good because it's a scale 3, and a lot of your Amorphages are scale 5, so that way you can go into level 4 spam. 2 Fossil Dino, which actually turn into the MVP of the deck. Say you just set this and your opponent attacks it with a, or say you just flip it against Cosmo and destroy their Dark Destroyer and their Forerunner. Both of them die because it doesn't target, and they can't use their effects to special summon one from the deck after they die because Fossil Dino says you can't special summon monsters from your extract. So, set this, wait a turn, flip it, destroy both their Forerunner and their Destroyer, let's say, they have on the field. They can't special summon anything. So, very good against the Cosmo matchup. Also against Performages and Performapals, they can't pendulum summon. You have all this back row to protect you, and really good way to beat down your opponent. I also might want to include that the Amorphages, they make it so your opponent can't special summon from their extra deck. That includes pendulums, so they can't pendulum summon either. 1 Wind Up Rabbit, I might move this to 2. It's very good against some matchups where you can just go Rabbit, it just floats and floats and floats and bounces back and all that. 1 Raigeki, 3 Wavering Ice is key in any pendulum matchup, but also it helps you search things in this deck. 2 Twin Twister, it's like the better MST now. I explained that. 2 Time Space Trap Hole, very good. 2 Storm Mirror Force, 1 Boundless, 1 Vanities, 1 Skill Drain, 3 Solemn Notice, 2 Divine Wrath, and 1 Warning. Here's another way you could build this deck if you didn't want to do the Counter Trap version. You can do a Trap Tricks version, so you can search the Time Space, the Boundless, and all that too. And they're also level 4. 1 Galaxy Eyes, Photon Prime Dragon, and 2 Felgrans because of these level 8 Dragon guy. 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity, 1 Ptolemus, and 1 Nova. Ptolemies, I'm sorry, I don't know. 1 Utopia, the Lightning, and 1 normal Utopia. 1 Honor Arc, 2 Castel, 2 Majestic Paladin, 1 Abyss Dweller, and 1 Gaga Cowboy. So that's the deck profile. I'm going to show you guys some duels, this deck in action, so I'll be right back. Okay, it's loading. So this is Amorphage versus Gradle Hero, I guess. Pretty interesting matchup. I've never played against a Gradle Hero deck before. But I think it was more of a lenient towards Hero, but just a few Gradles so you can go into the Masked Hero guys with it. But I just kind of set back my back row and some set monsters. That's basically the idea of the deck. All you really have to do is sit behind your back row and then beat down your opponent. I distribute both of the Amorphage level 4s to go into Irritum. Because now next turn I can flip it. You have a 2750 monster and they can't play any other heroes because you can't summon from the extra deck. Or they can't exceed either. So attack into his Gradle Eagle, but I Divine Wrath his Eagle because I did not want him to have the Irritum. If he had the Irritum, I couldn't Pendulum Summon. He'd have a 2750 beater. He has a Mass Hero target, so did not want that to happen. I knew he had another. I knew he had the mist there, so I didn't attack into it. And I was kind of scared if it was a Gradle monster. I didn't want him to take my Irritum. So I kind of just sat around waiting for him to do something, so I could Storm Mirror Force and Time Space Hole and all that stuff. So basically it's just a waiting game, and that's going to happen a lot when you play this deck, especially this build. You're kind of just waiting on your opponent so you can destroy your opponent, and then you can just start attacking them down. I probably shouldn't have waited so long. I understand that it's probably best if I waited, but in some cases it also would have been good if I just went out all attack. But the Gradles would have taken my monster, so it might have been messy there. But what he does is he attacks and he takes my Amorphage. But when he attacks my Amorphage, when he takes it, I play Storm Mirror Force, and then I get my monster back. That's why Storm Mirror Force is really good against Gradle. They can attack your Gradle monsters, or they can attack with the Gradles and take your monster. But once they attack with your monster, you can Storm Mirror Force them back to your hand. So again, just stalling. We're in turn 26, and he took a lot of damage because of his Hero Lives. But now we're kind of playing the duel now. I know it's turn 26. It was like 20 minutes into the duel, and I was like, okay, let's get the show on the road. So he takes the stance first, and he goes with all of his acid, hero, destroying all my back row, and my monsters because he used absolute zero. So I was kind of worried at this point. He could have easily killed me, but thankfully, I was really open. But thankfully, I survived with 300 life points. I draw into my scales, I Pendulum Summon 5, and now he can't special summon, but now he plays the Solemn Warning, which ultimately kills him. Why? Because now he only had 350 left, due to the Hero Lives, Solemn Warning, and attack with the Gradle. He was down to 350. If you think about it, all that damage was because of him. The Hero Lives, he took 4,000, Solemn Warning, he took 2,000, the Gradle attacking into my monster, and then all of that together kind of backfired because now he was down to 350, and my Wavering Eyes deals 500 when I destroy scale. So that killed him, and I was really worried because if you look at my life, 300 life points, I was going to lose the next turn. So drawing to the Wavering Eyes, dealing the 500, it kind of shows Wavering Eyes is more just destroy pendulums and search. You can also win games with it. So I will do one more duel, just to showcase the positives and negatives of the deck. Okay, this is more of a duel to show the negative sides to this deck. So we're playing against sorry, I'm not feeling well still. That guy was 0LP. That's literally his username. And sadly, he gets to go first, where if I win first, the duel might have been a lot differently. I'm not saying that being, like, salty or anything, but I would have been able to, Bottomless Hole, or Bottomless Trap Hole, the monster's original summon, but I am able to Divine Wrath it, which might end up helping me. But I attack with my Doomstar. Decent back row here, Bottomless, Time Space, and Twin Twister. I Bottomless his Cyber Dragon because I would have been able to kill my Doomstar, and I would have been left there to die. But he plays Soul Charge, being able to get the tuners he needs to go into his Big Daddy Dragon monster that I was talking about when I made the deck profile, the Red Dragon Arching deck. So I tried to silent Honor Arc it, and I didn't know that Arching Abyss could negate Honor Arc, so he's able to crush me, and that's kind of the downside of the deck. There's not many offensive counters you have. You can't really get over 3200 or 4000 beater that's untargetable. You kind of just have to accept it unless it's a Final Dyna, or Fossil Dyna. So that's kind of the issue with the deck here. If you're able to successfully go what's called a Fossil Dyna, some back row, or a strong like Amorphage Irritum with some back row, you'll probably win. But one of the key ways this deck loses is not being able to go first. Being able to go first helps the deck so much because you're able to establish a floater monster along with like 3 back row. So you're able to get that head start. So when you go second, the deck might not be as good as you hope. Anyways, you can copy the deck profile as long as you want, as much as you want, but just make sure someone asks you, hey, where did you get that deck? Say Black Rose Duelist and be like, go check them out, because why not? Anyways, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.